What's going on, everybody? We are back in here once again with another live stream. Shout out to you guys for being in here, being involved, and being active on this channel. Happy Money Day, everybody, aka Melanin Monday. What's up? What was up for the weekend, my ninjas? How was y'all's hollow weekend, man? Hopefully you all enjoyed yourselves. Tricking and treating. Oh my gosh. Today, we're back. A little sniffly, man. God dang allergies have just been going wild like Hulkamania, brother. Out here, man. All weekend, man. Just achoo. Just sniffling. And just freaking, not even like real boogies.
Nope.
It's just like water liquid at this point. TMI. If you know, if you can relate, you understand how annoying that is. Like constantly blowing your nose and it's just liquid fluid. Quite vexing indeed. Anyways, that's why I sound a little weird. I was having sneeze attacks right before stream, man. Had to take some more meds. We should be good to go, though. Shout out to you guys. Shout out to the live gang, replay gang, and of course the Lurk Squad. I see you. I acknowledge you. Wait, hold up.
Acknowledge me.
There we go. Yeah. Today we're gonna be reviewing the October 31st Halloween Titan Talk show. Let me go ahead and check and see what the deuce. Why is it so delayed, man? It's not, there's no freaking ad going on right now, dog. What are you talking about? I'm gonna turn you off. You're getting in the way. Still there? What? Oh, you goofball. Something's off with that timer. I guess I'll leave it off for another couple seconds. Let me check for any audio issues that may or may not be on my end. Mic check. And mic check. Sweet. So far, so good. No issues here.
Nope.
You see, all three platforms are running. Yes, they are. And we'll probably get into some games. We'll see, depending on how long this goes. Okay, we are good to go. Go ahead and get started. We will be joining the fellas, Hindu Man, Kilgoon, and whoever. Maybe Pawn. Let's check it out. Let's jump into it. Make sure it's not too loud.
Good afternoon.
What the deuce? Dang, man. He's a man bear. Whoever this guy is. We got Kilgoon in a freaking onesie. Yep. And Hindu Man just rocking it regular. Interesting. Okay, let's go ahead and join the gentleman in studio. Get started.
Good afternoon and welcome into another Titan Talk.
How's it going?
See, I'm joined by two amazing individuals who chose to dress up today. Apologies for not doing it myself. I didn't get the memo. I should have got the memo.
No, he didn't.
But I also feel over the years I've done enough of that. So
I understand you, Hindu.
However, I'm joined by Kilgoon, who is representing Care Bears.
Yeah, I believe this is Grumpy Bear.
Oh, he's a Care Bear.
Is it Grumpy Bear?
Okay.
I believe it's Grumpy Bear.
I didn't know there was a Grumpy.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's got a little stamp on his butt that says Care Bear. You can't see it, but it's great.
I'm not going to show my butt on stream.
I mean, well, it's Fenrir, RTO.
If we were taking donations, he might be willing to,
RTO.
Also joined as well by Ben, who's going to be joining us for the
Ben.
first half of the show today. As we have quite a bit to go over. We mentioned we were going to
Mr.
do a
Ben,
competition,
welcome.
And the winners
Welcome
have
to the
been,
show.
well, the winners not revealed, but we're about to reveal the winners. That's what I should say.
Winners have been
Additionally,
selected.
We still have balance to go through as well, so I expect the second half of the show will go through that. 2, Kilgoon, anything to mention?
No,
They did say there was some sort of art competition.
I think we're gonna do the art stuff. We're gonna do some balance. We're gonna take some questions with Ben before we do balance. I think Han's gonna come on for the balance bit, like you said, right?
That's
about.
So fingers crossed. But yeah, we're
it is
excited
the other
to
half.
look at this art because I I haven't looked at it yet, so I'm excited to see
Awesome.
what our winners are.
Yeah.
I
Okay,
love
let's
I love
go.
getting to showcase community art stuff.
Agreed. And it was the community.
I like
reached out,
seeing this
Legend
community
Erica,
artwork
Erica,
stuff,
I believe her name was,
too.
reached out to me saying, "Hey, can we look at doing
Ooh,
some
I
sort
got
of
a sneeze coming.
competition?" So here we are. If this goes well, we may continue to do some more in the future. So keep your
Lonnie
eyes
check.
peeled for that. However,
Drink check.
without further ado, we'll get into looking at some of these artists here. Sorry
Sneeze is
for all the
gone.
notes and stuff. But we had so many submissions. I believe over 70 submissions came in for this competition.
awesome.
And the community all voted on it. We
Not
had
bad.
no say.
Yeah, don't blame us if you don't like that. But hopefully they look good.
It'd be what it be. However, instead of just going with the top 5, I'm also going to show a few of the runners-up that came pretty close as well because the
honorable
standard was
mentions.
so high this attempt. So here's a little look. I'm just going to bring this on screen. First of all,
Hey.
the first one you can see here is
Feline fashion a wheeler. Let's go. They chibi-fied our girl a wheeler. Hell yeah. I like it a lot. You know, this one looks better. Tends to look better than the freaking the model. In-game model. I like it.
by, got to get my notes right,
Ida.
Tater Draws with the Awheelic skin. Feline fashion.
That's awesome.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, it's sick.
Yeah, I love the something about like the texture in the eyes makes me think of like
Super cute.
galaxy.
Yeah, like the reflection.
Yeah,
Yeah.
very cool.
Really see
the
the
line.
reflection in that one.
And I always love like kind of these like cutesy chibi versions of stuff that we do. Like I just like this art style in general.
Looking like
I agree.
Gojo eyes
This makes you
almost.
want to do like global emos that are like little
The
like
6
sticker
eyes.
base kind of thing.
Yeah,
You know, that, like,
that's
this,
cool.
this is really cool. Yeah.
I was
Pardon my sniffles.
just in my spare time, not at high res. I was like prototyping like a dumb little video game, and I was the character. I'm using a like a sticker art kind of in this style of John Wick.
Heck
And-
yeah.
Of John Wick. Okay.
Yeah, because it's kind of like that kind of a game. But yeah, it's just like yeah, definitely. I get what you're going for. I definitely cool art style.
Yeah.
Next up is...
And this is one of the runner-ups, right?
These
This
are
is
runner-ups. Yeah, I'm
not
not going to
actually
the top
one
Oh,
of
five.
not a
When we get to the
winner.
top 5, I'll show
Honorable
as
mention
well.
right
But
here.
first of all, these are just runner-ups.
This is
Hey,
a
that
runner-up.
was really
I can't wait to
good.
see the winners. This is awesome.
They get crazier as the time goes on too. These
Yeah,
are
yeah.
in no particular order, by the way, of the runner-ups. Just a few that we thought we'd showcase. Lupo Mortal with Nurse Nurse.
Oh.
Nurse Neef.
Nurse
as well.
Neve,
Close-up of
dang.
the- Seems a lot of people like these. Right time of year for us to release
Bully.
shockingly of these
Yeah.
Neve skins, but also a lot of people seem to have come across and like them.
Awesome.
Dang, W2.
Apparently, Chet says Lupo Mortale is Italian, so
The name would make sense.
that would make sense.
Seeing that,
In
yeah.
Italian. Lupo.
And yeah, this is a cool take on the zombie Nurse Neef. I like she's like, is she like embarrassed that she's been killing people with her poison?
She's like, it's
Mm-hmm.
like, she's like, ooh, I've been naughty.
Ooh, look at me committing murders. Ooh.
Ooh.
Next
Murder.
place is Sam
What
Salami
murder?
with a Nox skin.
Hey, Nox, let's go. When are you gonna bring Nox to the game? Nox is a love-hate character. I love playing as Nox. I can play against Nox too rather well, so I don't really hate playing against her. It's just that 2-1 combo. It gets you, you're done for, man. So much lockdown, single target lockdown. I like it.
Yeah. It's one of the classic Smite Nox skins, right?
Mhm.
I believe so. It's one very similar there.
Yeah.
Ben, you might know more than
Yeah,
me on
she's
that
a
'cause I don't
vampire
always
one in
keep
this
track
one,
as
I
much.
Yeah, she's a really cool like we had like a lot of vampire line stuff, and she
Mhm.
was in that vein.
Yeah.
I like this a lot. I like the angle. I like the way that like you're breaking the frame.
Yeah, that's
Mhm.
cool.
That's really cool.
Right here.
Awesome to look at that one. Next up
You
is
just need more
Huko with
face, too.
Alpwastra.
Oh, dang. Apuch. The king of anti-heal himself. Dang, looking mega creepy. That's cool. I like it. W artwork here from Mirth Revid. I guess it's supposed to be revived. Something like that. And that's awesome. I like it. When are you going to bring my man Apuch to the game, too?
See, we gotta get this guy in.
Yeah?
I really want.
You mean the
Aqua.
artist or you mean Alpwastra?
You know,
Both.
I mean, I
You
see
know?
the community and like they've influenced me, and now I'm a believer
Mhm.
too. But like this kind of, I love seeing this.
This
kind
style
of
is
stuff.
neat.
this
Yeah,
is
I like it a lot. I like it like
Quite
he's got
interesting.
he's trick or treating.
He
You know,
is.
he's got
Mhm.
his trick or treating like
Or is he
basket.
handed it out? That's the thing.
Oh, I don't know.
Maybe.
But he's got potions in there. He's got a ward in there. He's got some lollipops.
I really like
There's
the
the ward.
brush stuff on this. Like it's very
Potion.
hazy, almost like a like a dreamy kind of like
Yeah.
thought thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's really
Kind of like a fever dream-ish thing. It also reminds me of the Dandaran monsters or aliens. Go.
Hi.
Morning, brother. Morning. We are live indeed. Yes, sir.
Oh, hey, fam.
Hello. Hello, Jingwei, Jingweezy.
cool.
And then
There was an indie game I was playing the other day that was kind of like this. It was like a weird roguelite thing, but very cool art style. I like this.
and last one of the
Dun, dun,
run-ups to show you. Like
To
I said,
me,
no
to
particular
me, that's
order
what
here.
it reminds me
Hyria with a Thanatos skin.
Ooh.
All right.
Thanatos. Oh, Pumpkin Man. Oh, they didn't make the mask into a pumpkin, though. Would have been cool. Hey, he's got a candy corn as his candy. Halloween or pumpkins everywhere. Nice. Damn, that looks awesome. Excellent artwork, Mr. Dude. Heina. Oh, Heina. Ma Heina.
So like my narrative in this is like I see this, and he desperately wants to eat this candy corn,
Uh-huh.
and he's like, "But my mask."
My mask. Yeah. Hey, my mask. I can't take it
so
off.
All I see is like sadness. This is like he's just deep.
I want the candy.
Yeah,
corn.
like there's like
Yeah.
this is like philosophical. Shit
That
going
longing
on right now in
desire.
this guy's mind.
Knowing he
Yeah,
can't
very
have
cool.
it.
Yeah,
I
super
think
cool.
like it's interesting because it's kind of like there is the Thanatos pumpkin skin in Smite 1.
Yes.
Mhm.
But he has a
Jackal
pumpkin
Reaper.
head.
Yes, he does.
Yeah.
Whereas this one has like the pumpkins replacing all the masks.
Maybe he wants to put it on his head,
Oh,
but he's
shoot,
just too
yeah.
small. You know? That's
Maybe.
what he's after. He's like, damn, it's
Yeah.
the time of year again.
Very cool.
Maybe he took the pumpkin mask off because
Yeah.
he wanted to eat the candy corn,
Uh-huh.
and then he realized, oh crap, I'm double masked here.
Well, they were the runners-up. I'm just going to quickly switch over.
Yeah,
to
like I said before, those are the
winners as well.
runners
Yeah,
up.
that's
Man.
awesome.
Like these are amazing. Like
Damn.
I am consistently impressed by the number of like really talented people
Mhm.
in the world.
I love
but
the
in
Wheelix
in
one.
the community as well. This is just a
That one was my
sidebar
favorite
as
out of the
myself up,
runner-up.
because Lord knows I love to do those. Have you ever seen Ari on YouTube? Ari at home. He's a
Maybe.
music live streamer, and he has like this rig where he walks around New York City like making beats live for just random people to rap on these beats.
Oh, yeah, I
and just
think
like
I have seen some of
the
those, actually, yeah.
quality of random dudes
People just
in
walking up
New
doing it?
York
Yeah.
just like walk up and start rapping, and you're like, dude, this is better than anything on the radio. Sometimes like it really impressive, like just the hidden talents that people have, and it's awesome that we get a chance to showcase some of them here.
Completely agree, and not just hidden talents, because here's some talent on this one too. Now, this is the
Ooh.
5th place. We're going through the top 5 here. This is Frost Sparrow, I believe, with Nurse Neefskin.
Dang. Nice background, too. I think that's what influenced the decision compared to the other ones. It wasn't much background in the back. There's a story right here. Look at that. There's a whole lot more going on here than just the character itself.
Yeah.
There's a lot of love for these nurses. What I like
Mhm.
about
Shocking.
it-
It's almost like they're dressed
Mhm.
for that.
yeah,
like,
you know,
really
it's really
draw a lot of
Halloween
attention.
Prep,
You
right?
know
It's
why.
zombie flavor, but I
If
like
you
this
know,
one.
you
It's
know.
got like Bruce Timm kind of style. Like I don't know, he's like an artist that did like a lot of like cartoons back then, like Batman the Animated
Oh
Series.
Yeah.
So like he did a lot of that kind of stuff. This reminds me a
The
lot of his art,
Batman.
so I really dig it.
And just a heads up as well, top 5, the bottom 3, 5, 4, and 3 will all receive 1,000 diamonds each for these. So 1,000 diamonds there for Frost
nice.
Sparrow.
Congratulations.
This one. I love the shadow usage in the background as well, the open lit door,
Yeah.
just to give it some sort of...
Yeah,
depth to it, you
that's
know?
really nice. Like it
Yeah.
pops the silhouette. Like there's a
Yep.
lot of really subtle like art tricks happening here that frames the character and draws attention there that like he's not being heavy-handed with, but it really helps.
The object source lighting on the syringe, I guess is
Right
the
here.
word for that. And I like the
Glow right
texture
here.
of the textures. I don't know. I'm not an artist, but like it's this cool kind of like flat but detailed approach to all of the different materials. It's pretty cool. I like it.
Yeah, it's a strong read. It's cool.
In 4th place, then, we have Obsidian with Sobek skin. I believe some people may have seen this on social as well.
Oh, yo. Sawback. That looks freaking awesome. Part of the mecha chainsaw. freaking lineup. That was freaking cool. They have a tier 1, Hercules 1, and who was Susanoo? Does he have one? I don't know. That looks freaking cool though. Mechanical arm, the chainsaw is a sickle. Ooh, damn. Sawbeck, excellent pun name too. Got injections. Nice.
Sawbeck is what we see here.
That's metal.
This one, so I love comic books, and this like really reminds me of comics, and it's its own like take. This isn't like
It is,
us.
yeah.
So this one's my favorite one of the bunch, just because it's like come up with your own concept design. Like I love concept design, so like
There's no
this
background
this
though.
hits
I'd
that
love to
note,
see a
but
background.
It's also like got a really cool comic booky style. I'm vibing with it.
Gives me that cyberpunk evil crocodile.
It's like
with a
it's like
chainsaw.
there's
Yeah,
like
right, brother?
It's like
Yeah.
Batman, and I think of him too.
It does
when I
look
see
really
this,
cool.
But, and even like the cool, like we
Nope.
have some skins that kind of do this, where we have like the armor and there's like kind of like green like toxins and stuff. Like I see this being like a red variant of that. It's really cool.
Yeah, this is so cool, and
Kinda
I
like
love like the
Bane-esque,
little,
too.
like the rim lighting on the parts that are in shadow to make it like pop against the background. Like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, a lot of really nicely done artistic stuff in addition to just a cool design. Like,
And that was Sawbeck.
chat saying that like I want this as a skin yesterday. Like, yeah, I could totally see something like this as a skin.
It's even got the play on words name Sawbeck.
Yeah. Really thought out and played out well.
AJ
Yep.
can't complain about our pun skin names anymore,
Yeah.
so we can make Sawbeck if we want to.
True. And this was 4th, by the way. And a reminder, community voted before anyone complains about anything here. These are all fantastic. However, 3rd on the list, 3rd place will also
4th
receive
place.
1,000 is Alkion with a Scylla drawing.
Hey.
Trick or
Much
treating.
cuter.
Aw.
I feel like in my games recently, I've been
Looking
getting a
cute.
lot more tricks than treats from Scylla.
Aw, look at Scylla. Hear her dogs. Nice. Where's the 4th one though? Probably watching her stick, looking that way. Aw, aw. That's all I say. So adorable.
That's generally the case, yeah.
Yeah.
So
I can see
endearing.
But adorable, yeah. No,
It
I
is
think
adorable, yeah.
It's
Mhm.
I like it. There's kind of like a soft,
Yes.
dreamlike quality
Yes.
to it. I would say.
Mhm.
The thing I like about all the finalists is that like they all have different styles.
True.
Which is really cool.
Yeah.
And it's always hard to kind of discern like who to choose when you like have the style changes and stuff. But each of them like does really well within their style. Like this one to me, like you said, like it's like a watercolor kind of like a children's book kind of.
That's what I was
Yeah.
thinking, yeah. 'Cause there's some. It's soft. The colors aren't super sharp and popping out. They look blended, like a watercolor. If you haven't watercolored, you know. If you have, you know. If you don't, you won't.
I'm going when I see this. It's really cool, but it's also like
Just what
kind
it
of
really
like,
reminds me of.
I'm seeing her and she's like, "Yo, man, I want the treats," and then behind her is the trick. She's about to get you with like,
Uh-huh.
True.
dogs that are like.
Yeah, there's more than one dog too. You only see one in
Yeah.
the picture.
Yeah,
Where are
it's
the other ones?
like
you
just
You
know?
see the eyes. You see the eyes for two
Oh,
of
the
them.
eyes.
Right?
Do you know
Yeah,
what?
they're like
Mhm.
lurking
I
in the
personally
darkness there.
I'm really lazy and saw those as just leaves. I did not see them as
yeah,
eyes.
yeah.
I'm like, oh, yeah, okay.
Oh, Hinder
Yeah,
man.
I think there's something like
Leaves.
Hidden stuff.
scary in the background there that it does tap into like
It's
who Scylla is.
the
Mhm.
juxtaposition of like the cute and friendly, and then like the ominous. Wait, what the hell is
The
behind her?
monster.
Yeah.
thing.
So that's 3rd
The
place with Alkion
Yeah,
and Scylla.
before we move on, though,
Yeah.
there's a very important question from chat that
Go
we
ahead.
need to answer. Can her dogs eat chocolate since they're attached to her?
I'll tell you something
Or-
that I find really surprising. Like in America, you're more Americans are a little bit more focused on not feeding the dogs chocolate, and I think
Yeah.
in the UK, chocolate biscuits was all the rage
Oh,
for a long
yeah,
time.
it's
Just
like-
feeding them chocolate biscuits and
Here, it's like you will kill
Go
your
get a
dogs.
stump
You
up
know,
bug
it's like,
straight away.
it's not
Uh-huh.
a thing that
Yeah,
you
yeah,
should
yeah.
do.
Don't feed
It's-
them chocolate, but
Yeah, it's like I guess every culture has like their own like things. You
for
know,
sure, for
very
sure. It
much.
was just a very big surprise
Poor
in that one.
dogs. That sucks. Man.
However, I do think these ones could eat chocolate. That's what I would say. For the most part. That was 3rd, though, for Alkion Scylla, and that would be 1,000 diamonds for them, too. Next up is 2nd place, which will be receiving 2,000 diamonds. And this is, apologies if I butcher names, by the way, Alistair with Izanami Nurse skin.
Hey, Nurse Thick. Nurse Thick. Thickanami right here. Dang, that looks awesome. Kind of looks like she's in a haunted house, coming out and haunting you. Yeah, it looks awesome. Fantastic. Got some blurs in here. Maybe it was a watercolor too. I like it. I like it.
Ooh. Yeah.
This one's
That was second
definitely,
place.
like more painterly, like a lot more detail. There's like a darker mood with this one.
Mhm.
I like the blood coming off like the ropes and stuff like that.
Are the ropes? I thought
right
like
here.
pulled out veins almost. It's kind
Ugh.
of like
It's another
tendons,
nurse,
ligaments, you
right?
know? Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Mhm.
sinewy stuff.
Yeah, sinewy, yeah.
Yeah, there's something about like the creepy nurse for Halloween thing that's
Bro, yeah.
definitely got some resonance for sure.
I was playing Silent Hill 2 the other
It
day.
ain't.
and,
It ain't
oh my
creepy,
God.
dog.
It's just
Throwbacks.
vibes. I love that
It's
shit.
not the creepy
And
factor,
that was the
man.
Izanami for Alistair.
no, that's
the
cool.
Izanami Niff. And then finally, the last one we've got to showcase today is the actual winner, Flaro with Izanami Clown Skin.
Oh, another one.
5,000 diamonds for this competition.
All right, so this
Dang. This one looks really, really good. Kind of reminds me of the My Man skin. My Man had the clown one too, like this. It reminds me just like her. It could be My Man or Izanami. They said Izanami though. I'm going with both, man. Oh, it's Izanami because she's a lot paler. I think My Man is darker, if I'm recalling. This one looks really, really good. I like it.
one's like, she's the creepy clown, and
Mhm.
goddamn if they didn't get that in the artistry here. Like,
Yeah.
the style is
I
very
love the light
like,
right here.
alluring, but also
edge.
disturbing at the same time. I'm a big fan of this one.
Yeah, this one like
Very creepy.
this. I think like you're saying, like the style goes with the subject
It's
so
gritty,
well, right?
It's
Yeah.
gritty,
Mhm.
yeah.
This was the perfect time for us to start doing that in our competition, though, is just around the Halloween time. It nicely. It wasn't
Yes.
intentional, it just worked out very well.
And
But
I love this, like, you know, also just like the neon green contrast, kind of like edge
Yep.
lighting here,
The
like
spotlight.
just a lot of
Like
really cool stuff
backlit.
going on here.
And I will say as well, I think the community did a pretty good job on voting.
Yeah,
You can
No,
really see these are really high standard. And again, we had over 70 submissions on a kind of a short notice out of the blue situation. So really impressed with that. And thank you to the art community for reaching out, wanting to do this and
Yeah.
get this up and running. So,
yeah, I'd love to do this again. You know, sometime.
Oh, yeah.
Before too long.
Yeah,
Christmas.
Then we maybe look at around the Christmas time one. We'll see how it goes for doing another one. Maybe I can put a little bit more, do a bit more with it. We'll see. We'll see how time goes on and what people
Yeah.
think. But thank you so much.
Are
for
we
everyone who sent
gonna
in.
do anything else to like, you know, talk
I
about
guess-
who the winners are? Are we gonna like tweet about it or
They
something?
get third
I
place
can do
or
that after
3,000
the show.
gen.
Yep.
Oh,
diamonds?
yeah.
It'll be on this.
Spread
I
the
can just
word.
throw
Yeah.
these on artwork on social if they're all okay with, which I expect they would be. Just to tweet about them and talk about them. So
Yeah.
thank you so much, and I appreciate you all for the competition. But for a little while, we've got a few minutes with Ben before we go into balance stuff. Does anyone have any questions for Ben?
Yeah.
Or
Snap.
the
Everybody
usual
always
I
has
questions
gotta
time
look down
at the
this.
moment.
Yeah, you know the I do love the bear mask, but it does not look.
W artworks, everybody. W. Fantastic. Can't wait to see the Christmas ones. Ooh, I'm excited. I always love seeing other people's art. You know, I love art myself, if you can't tell. I have a lot of stuff out here in my background. Some that aren't even displayed, man.
Nope.
I cycle through a lot of these, so I'm an art aficionado.
Very easy to live your life in that bear mask.
I'm not gonna lie, those eyes are really. He was sat in the chair in here for a few minutes before the show, and gave me a bit of a panic when I turned around.
Yeah,
What the
I
hell
was
is that in the
staring at
chair?
you the whole
Yeah.
time when you were over there, but you didn't
Yep.
see me.
But I went to make eye contact, and it is pretty terrifying.
Yeah, it's this is how Artio lives her life. You know, I could only
Things are
imagine.
freaking-
It's
the jaw
scratchy,
moves
man.
too
I'm,
when he
always,
speaks.
itching my
It
face
must
and
be
stuff.
unbearable.
Oh,
That's a good one.
That's pretty good. All right, what's the questions? Where we at?
Let's have a
Ninja.
look, see what we've got.
Oh,
coming
is the
in.
bear mask creepy? I'm sorry. I hope I don't creep
I mean,
you
it's
out. I could
Halloween.
do
It's
this.
fine.
I
It's
could
fine.
be
it's fine.
like,
Yeah, just pull it. Yeah.
is that creepier?
This is the opposite version of a question that we
Damn,
did
the
a
eyes
lot.
look pretty cool. Yeah, creepy
Who was
on that
the
mask.
easiest god to model for Smite 2?
Oh man, an easy god to model would be one where we didn't do too many changes to it, and it was just like a solid design to begin with. It's usually one of the ones that have been like more newer gods.
Not Ymir.
That's a hard one to ask. There's a bunch, but I would say anyone that was done in like season 6 and on. As they get closer to season 11, they'll be the easier ones to do.
Damn, not Ymir.
Is there a reason for that specifically?
Well, I mean, 10 years ago we weren't the best, at certain things.
Sure.
Or like we grew as
You
artists,
improve
right?
as you
Like,
go, right? Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's there's quality things. We also didn't have a lot of concept support back in the day. Like I remember when we first did like Freya and like Neath, and it was like the artist got like 2 weeks to make the character. There was no concept support. You just made it.
Gotcha.
You know, and that's like now we're like, you get some badass concept artists, really awesome character artists. And, you know, as you increase every time, artists are like, they always want to like do better, right? It's always like a competition with yourself. And then you kind of have like friendly competition with the other artists. Like, oh man, like they did a really great job. I'm inspired to do better next time. I'll get them on the next one. And then they're like, okay, cool. You got me. I'll get you on the next one. And there's this like kind of leapfrogging of like just growing as artists.
That rivalry.
And, you know, once you do that for like 10 years, and now you're like, okay, I've like, where you came from, you know, like, it's like a huge progression happens over time just from challenging yourself. So that's a lot of the reasons. And also just like, you know, technology makes it easier. Like ZBrush, for instance, is like the software we use. They have like things like Dynamesh now, which is like, you can just sculpt and then add topology with like a click of a button, where that wasn't around before. So there's a lot of workarounds you had to do and stuff.
Yeah, I think just one of the things that you mentioned, or I know it's going on recently, is that like Dodgy, the same artist that did Dodgy initially, is doing the new Dodgy primarily because he's like, I look at this model and I can do it so much better now.
It shames me, you know. He's like, I can't let this slide.
Hey, it's the same artist. That's awesome.
I don't have an answer for you. I'm sorry. I would say any god that feels like it really was iconic. Like Zeus. Zeus is probably a good one. I think, where it's like he's very iconic. I love our Zeus, and he was really well done on like there was an old Zeus. I did the very first Zeus. It is horrendous, terrible. Saman did the second Zeus, which is amazing. So I think that's probably the one I would pick. It was like just really well done, and there's no real like extra
Zeus
for it.
This is, I guess, kind of a more artistic question. How much like figure and gesture studies sessions do you do or did you do when you were developing as an artist? Like this person says like it's fun to do and it gets you loose, but as a professional, I'm like curious how long you had to like properly study doing that.
So like it depends on what you want to do, right? But like I'm very different than some of the other character artists. Like I am a huge anatomy nerd. Like I have studied anatomy ad nauseum, and
knowing that's gonna help you out a lot.
Classes where I've had to like sculpt and like learn all the muscles and the names and stuff like that. Some of the other artists are like, dude, who cares? And I'll be like the sternocleidomastoid, and it's like this like long neck muscle, right? And it's like they're like, okay, so the neck tube. Cool. Like, and I'm like, yep, the neck tube, right?
I didn't think the Mona Lisa was created,
man.
Man.
Because it helps like refresh my brain, and it also like helps you if you're going to search for the specific like thing, like muscle to like kind of like sculpt out or draw or whatever. But like a lot of people are like, yeah, bro, I'm just looking at a shape. Like I'm just gonna like look at some reference and make the thing look like the thing. So I would say as far as like gesture drawings and stuff, like that stuff just helps your muscle memory and your
he was like that shit. He caught himself though.
Taste, and like you get like a vibe for things. Like especially if you're like doing like card art and stuff, gesture is so critical. Even though it's like it's so baked into the cake that you don't even notice it. It's just like you're looking at this really amazing piece, but it's like, oh, look at the flow of it. There's like levels of like flow lines and like reads and stuff like that. Oh man, I'm sorry. This like thing is.
It's all good.
You're doing great.
I'm just gonna put this right there so like I can talk right into it. All right, that's
just eating the mic.
That's easier. So it's like I would say gesture is like it's more about like the training wheels, right? It's like learning how to like crawl and stuff, because at some point you're gonna be sprinting and you won't even think about the crawling part of it. But like you couldn't have done it without that, and it plays like the understanding locomotion plays into it. So it's like I don't think you have to go crazy with it, right? Just understanding it, but really focusing on what you're doing with
fundamentals.
They're not meant to be like the most heavily rendered images. They're meant to show motion in like flow and stuff like that. And and that sounds really annoying, but it's like the whole goal is like leading your eye to places, right? Like I want to have high detail in areas that I want you to look at, and then I want to have low detail in areas that I don't want you to look at. That's a transitional area. Like maybe a gauntlet's super cool on a character, and the bicep area isn't as awesome, and then the shoulder pad is like super sick, right? So I definitely want to have like those kind of like principles in place. It's all principle based stuff. So yeah, it's really about just understanding like what you're doing behind the actual brushstrokes. You know, it's more the mentality.
Yeah.
Does that kind of?
Interesting.
Yeah, no,
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
the person who asked
Picking
the
an
question
artist's
said, thank you for your
brain
detailed
live.
response.
Oh,
it means
sure,
a
no
lot
problem.
hearing this from somebody like
You're
you.
gonna have to stop me sometimes when I talk, man. I just go.
Listen, we're not gonna do something. It's a bit weird still
Yeah,
nodding it in agreement or like in, you know, pleasantries at a bear at the same time though, and trying not to make eye contact.
Yeah.
I'm seeing if there's any other questions though, because we will be moving on to balance shortly. I'm just seeing.
Here's one.
Balancing stuff.
When we're like the process of designing new gods, you know, how much of it is from art? How much of it is from designers? How much of it
Lore?
is from mythology versus us? You know, like just trying to come up with cool looking shit.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, you know, like from your perspective, how does that go, and what's the right way that we should be approaching it?
All right. Okay. So first things first. Designers are gonna be like, we want cool kits that like are cool to play. So it's always like, design is king, always, right? So. And that's not even that big of like a box to put you in. It's just like, we're going to be doing these things. And then those things, like if you tell me design a character and you give me this whole gamut to work with, this whole range, I'm like, you got to narrow that in, dude. I could like give you all sorts of crazy stuff, right? So like those design kits will help me kind of narrow in where we're going with the character, right? So the ones we have like a little more of a narrower scope, and we know kind of like what the identity of the character is in the game and how it will be unique. I can also remember, well, then it's got like, you know, we got like a character, who do we got? Artemis versus Neith, right? It's like Artemis is an archer, Neith is an archer, but how do you make sure that they're different? And so like when we would say, hey, we have to like make two archers, obviously Tusky comes into play and makes that easier and stuff. And like Neith being Egyptian versus Artemis, you know, not. It's like, that definitely helps, but at the same time, now my bow, I don't want the bow to be the same kind of bow. And I definitely, with the animation team, they do not want to have her hold the bow in the same way, because the identity needs to be different, right? Of the character from a first initial read, because like now you got like, you know, one character's holding the bow this way, the other character's holding the bow this way, right? So it's like, it helps at the first read that, oh, that's Artemis in the distance. So that's an important part of it. Then after that, it's like, you know, obviously we do lore and we look at kind of like what we could take from that. But at the same time,
design,
it's
lore, then
25
art.
out here, man. I'm trying to like, I can't just like make Argus be a guy that has like 1,000 eyeballs on his body. Like, that's just, it's not going to be appealing. That's
Nah, dog,
so,
it
like,
won't.
we'll look for things where we can kind of be inspired by what the lore says about the character, and then push it. And then the extra piece added to that is like pop culture inspiration. So like if there's any character, people already have associations to certain gods and stuff like that because
they appeared in movies, TV shows, other games.
Right. And so like when that happens, we want to lean into what those things are that makes it appealing, right? And what makes people like feel like they understand the identity of the character. We have an obscure thing that we're pulling from a character that in pop culture they never show that obscure thing. It's probably like, maybe we can do that as an Easter egg, or maybe we can have that be one of the abilities, but like the general broad strokes of the character should be something that someone fully understands and
recognizes,
like,
almost,
accepts, right?
Yeah.
But then on top of that, you want to take your own unique spin, right? So you still want to like push.
Oh, I know
that,
who that is.
But you don't want to like, you don't
or I
want to
can
betray,
deduce
like,
who
the
that
lore
is
too much, and you also don't want to betray like what people know that character to be in today's like society, right?
Yeah.
Like a great game that does this and like probably bends it the most, like Hades. Like, man, their character designs are fresh. They're so really cool. Like, we don't push it that far, right? We try to stay a little bit more stuck to the lore and stuff like that as best we can. But like when you see games like that, they're like, look, we're just gonna do our own thing, and like people are like, wow, their version of that character really hits, right? So, I
haven't played that game yet.
The approach, design first. Then like, so where's the kit? Kind of help inform us what we can do with things. Give us some ideas. Look at the lore, see what's going on there, and usually the designers give us the lore too. So it's kind of, and they also kind of try to imply where they want that lore to be consistent with the abilities and kit and stuff like that. So like, because sometimes characters like, you get like Hecate, where she's like got these 3 heads and stuff like that, three versions of her. Like we have that on her belt, like the masks and stuff. But like you can go a lot of angles with her, and we went with like goddess of witchcraft versus like the other things that could have been applied. And so you kind of sometimes have to pick what you want to work with. Like, like
What would be more
Charybdis is
simpler?
like, you know, this giant maw,
Or
but
more
it's like,
feasible?
It's still we're like, oh, she's the sister of Scylla, so we want to like have it be sisters, right?
Yeah.
But like,
Cardi
where's
B.
the monster coming in? It's like, oh, well, we're just gonna like kind of like how in the legs it's done for Scylla, we'll do it in the arm for Charybdis. So like that was like a one where we took the lore and we took the design of it had to have the maw and stuff like that, but then implement it into a design that felt relevant to Smite and also kind of made it unique to us, but kept at least as much as we could to lore.
Nice.
Great answer. And also very accurate of like how design goes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming on though, Ben. It's been great actually having you on for a few moments just to talk. I'm sure we'll have you.
I know
on
you're a
again to do
busy
proper
man,
show
so
as well. But
I'll try to come.
They're
by
booting
more
him.
often. This was like a great like I've been like
Entrance
in the
in.
lab working on stuff a lot, so like I haven't been able to come on the show, but you know, Graham asked me to come on. And I was like, all right, well.
Not gonna lie, it was kind of one of those situations of I thought this was going to be a non-balanced week, but it is balanced week. Otherwise, we would have kept you on for the whole show too. But there's plenty of people in chat too. But yeah, definitely.
Maybe like every 2 weeks or something like that.
Don't
like,
sign yourself up for the no, because otherwise the community's like, "Where's Ben?" Every other week
no,
when you.
if people want me here, like, people, I mean,
If the people want it,
you're gonna get me saying the same stuff every time.
The
That's
people's
true.
art director.
If I come on here, it's gonna be you ask me questions about art, and I'm gonna talk for 15 minutes about one art topic, and like if that gets boring, then I'll stop. I'll go away, right? But if you
They also want you to wear the bear mask every time. So
Oh
I don't know
my
if we're gonna sign up for
we
that.
can do
but-
that.
Every other show would be a different person.
I could do that. I could wear it in different ways too. Maybe I don't know, like
Sounds good.
maybe
Awesome.
some glasses on there. You know, next time.
Yeah.
Some sunglasses.
Well, thanks so much for coming on.
Yeah,
We're
yeah.
going to quickly just cut to this for a minute so you can just get out of your
All
chair
right,
and
all right.
we can bring on
Yeah.
Pompon. Crazy so far, though. We've only gone 30 minutes so far in
Yeah.
this Kilgoon, and the art show, as you can see, went really well.
Yep.
Yeah. No,
Just about.
I think these were all just so cool.
Yeah, they were.
The mask is so much more intimidating in person.
It is. It's
Your
really
pawn.
like a good mask.
I hear him.
Pod's just saying off camera there. If you don't hear that, the mask is very intimidating in person, which it is.
My costume less intimidating, I would say.
I don't know. You do seem more intimidating.
Am I more intimidating than usual?
In my opinion, yeah.
I actually wasn't allowed to watch like any Care Bear thing.
Really?
When I was a kid. Yeah.
Why not? Is it
I don't
too-
know. I don't know. I just remember that was a specific band in the house, but like I actually played like Halo when I was like, so I don't know why.
Halo's fine, but
weird.
Care Bears, no?
I mean, obviously Care Bears was when I was way younger.
Yeah.
Oh, true. Yeah.
But like
Totally
something,
makes sense.
I don't know.
That's
It
crazy.
was all about sharing, Care
Bears.
Bears.
Care Bear stare. Yeah.
Oh, welcome in, Pon. As everyone can see, Pon has now joined us.
Welcome,
too, so
Pon,
brings up on
Pon,
this side too.
joining us
Where
in
are we starting
studio.
Today, Pon, we're doing God balance, we're doing item balance.
Let's
What do you
start
wanna do?
with God balance.
Okay. I guess the first thing to say is any specific focus.
Who's
in the
getting
update
nerfed?
this time?
Who's
round?
getting
The
buffed?
big thing we wanted to focus on for this one is just looking at outliers who are like not doing super well. We
Okay.
just kind of gathered from different ambassador feedback, different just data that we had internally, and just try to find places where we could do some fun stuff, and just try to make sure that we're making sure
excuse me.
that we're not getting too stale on anything.
Sounds good. Well, without further ado, then I guess we can get into balance now.
Let's go, baby.
Look. Hopefully, you can all see that.
Amaterasu. Oh. Ah. They're touching it. She's getting a shift. All right, her passive, Illuminating Strike, can now be triggered by 3 basic attacks and or dazzling offensive hits. That's her ult. Nice. So I think it was always 3 basic attacks. You hit them 3 times, and then you apply the aura, which they take more damage from you. Now you can apply it with the ult as well. So after you ult, you're going to be even more potent with your following basic attacks. Hell yeah, because it'll stick to them. And you'll have the rest of your kit to chase or disengage, whatever you decide to do. Nice. I like that. I think this might be big for her. Divine Presence. Decreased attack speed. 10 to 26% is now 8 to 20%. Oh, they nerfed her 1. They decreased her strength as well. 14 to 30 is now 12 to 24. Her 2, Heavenly Reflection. Damn, almost her entire kit got touched. Increased base damage. 70 to 210 is now 80 to 240. This increases the maximum damage from 14 or 140 to 420 is now 160 to 480. And then increase the base damage on her ult from 100 it is to 260. It is now 100 to 300. Oh, the final end. This increases the second hit damage from 120 to 312 to 120 to 360. This increases the third hit damage from 140 over 364 to 140 over 420. And then increase intelligence scaling from 45% to 50%. Okay. I haven't really seen much Amaterasu at all, man.
Nope.
I can see why she got
Try to
this
make it
up.
as big as possible. But we can start off with Amaterasu with a bit of a shift here.
Mhm.
Quite a few notes on this one. Pod, do you want to just talk through it real quick?
Yeah,
Just
so
reading this out?
Madaros is definitely an interesting shift. So she was really, really good for a long time. On first release, her build was just incredibly good. Then she basically was able to do a lot of in-handy build stuff really well, and she got kind of nerfed both directions. And she finally fell in a spot where she wasn't really doing too well. So we want to actually shift her. So if we just buff her, we might run back into the situation where she's just kind of in that in-hand build again. So we are preemptively nerfing that side of it.
Okay.
So that we can bring more base power into things like Heavenly Reflection and Dazzling Offensive, and add a little bit of uniqueness to her kit, which is Illuminating Strikes. This is her passive where she has to auto attack you 3 times.
Yeah.
That can actually be really hard to do sometimes on like the ability side of things. So let Dazzling Offensive, each hit of that also count for a hit. So if you actually hit someone with 3 hits of the ultimate, you will also trigger the passive on them, which means in a team fight you could actually trigger this bonus on a whole bunch of people, which just gives her a lot of cool new utility.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's very cool.
So quick recap there. Eliminating Strike can now be triggered by 3 basic attacks or Dazzling Offensive passive. Divine Presence is going to see a bit of a nerf here, attack speed reduction and strength reduction. Heavenly Reflection increased the base damage of this, and this increases the maximum damage from 140 to 420, from 160 to 480, so an increase there. And Dazzling Offensive increased base damage from 100 to 260 will now be 100 to 300, and this increases the second hit damage from 120 to 312 to 120 to 316, and the third hit also goes up too. Also increased intelligence scaling from 45% to 50%.
Yep.
Couple on the list here is Aphrodite.
Aphrodite got a buff on her. She's getting buffed. Chalk. The homie Chalk. He's getting buffed. Okay, let me see. Back off her 2 increased bonus damage from 20 to 80 is now 40 to 120. Increased bonus damage scaling 50% to 20% of your intelligence. Increased damage scaling 85 to 90% of intelligence. Or bonus and then damage. Okay. Increased soulmate scaling 50 to 60% of your intelligence. Lovebirds are 3. Increased heal protect 8 to 16 is now 10 to 18. 2 everywhere. Okay. Increased ally heal scaling from 2% to 2.5 of your intelligence. Okay. It's gonna be healing more. Okay. And doing a little bit more damage too from the 2. That's gonna be hurting. That's gonna be hurting more. Ow, what the? That hurt. Overflow. New. Increased heal amount per level. 0 to 1. Rain Dance 3. New. Grant a stack of overflow every 1.5 seconds. This results in 4 stacks over the whole Rain Dance. Aspect of Fulmination. Rain Dance 3 now does not generate stacks of overflow. That's something new. Okay.
Buff coming through.
We'll let him
on.
explain it.
Some always interesting complaints about Aphrodite. She's good, she's bad, she's good, she's bad. What? And it looks like we're looking at a buff here.
Yeah, and this is something that we'll also look at probably in the next patch as well. We think that overall the anti-heal pass has done what we wanted it to do, but so lifesteal and especially item healing, we've largely gotten to a place that feels pretty good. There's still room for counter built items to be built, but some of the gods that were their identity were healers have been over nerfed. So we're just we're gonna probably look at potentially Aphrodite again in the next patch, but this is something we can do in the short term for now that helps her out, which is let the back off be more effective, especially when you're using it in the way of like you're linked to someone and you're playing back off of them. So if you can double up on it, it does a lot more damage, or just if you can get someone on top of someone and blow up, that's going to do more damage. And then Lovebirds bring back some of the healing and some of the scaling on the ally heal, so you can a little bit better pocket heal your teammate.
So back off bonus damage from 20 to 80, now 40 to
cool,
120.
cool.
Increased bonus damage scaling from 15 to 20%. Increased damage scaling from 85 to 90.
No
Increased
issues with me,
soulmate
man. No
scaling
issues
from 50
there.
to 60 on the back off. And then
Nope.
Lovebirds The tick increase was 8 to 16, now 10 to 18, and also increased the ally healing scaling from 2 to 2.5%. Next up is Chak. Bit of a buff here for Chak as well. I know he was very heavily in the meta for a while. A lot of people complained about him, and it seems he got toned down.
Yeah,
and some people do still believe he's good.
Especially the aspect of fulmination lets him really effectively. So the goal here was to make it so that the buff was not to aspect of fulmination. So we added a new component. Again, we're just trying to find some fun things we can do with these characters. Again, in the engine that we have now, like we can actually do some of these things that would be a lot harder to do before. So we actually added a new feature to Rain Dance, which is every like 1.5 seconds it adds a stack of overflow, which is his passive.
Okay.
So
Okay, I get it now. Oh my gosh, instead of just basic attacking to get that overflow, so you get 4 from casting your 3, so just basic attack one more time. You get 5 stacks, so now your next ability is free, no mana.
Nope.
Okay. Oh, dang. Okay, I'm with it. That's for the regular though. Fulmination doesn't do that. Okay, I understand now. Okay.
Rain Dance, right, is calling rain down. It's causing overflowing of water.
That would make
This
sense.
is passive.
Logic.
And made his passive a bit more impactful when you're actually utilizing it effectively. So there's
Definitely.
just more reason and incentive to care about your overflow passive.
Yes.
But the aspect of fulmination will not get this benefit. So that more damaging rain does not cause the overflow.
Helps it differentiate them a little bit too.
Yeah.
Makes sense. So there's a little look at Chak.
Good. That makes sense. That makes sense.
Set small.
No, ice is cold already. Her 3 getting a freaking hit. Decrease the slow 20 to 30%. It is now 20% flat. I told you that slow was gonna get hit. I knew it. 30% slow. Dang, that's freaking powerful on its own. Hecate fix any movement speed or movement speed gain or loss is gonna be impactful. So now it's just 20% flat. God dang, man, I get slowed way too much. F that. Hecate got to fix her 2 on her aspect. Spell this ability no longer fires when enemy gods use or toggle stance switch abilities. What? For Uller, he's the only one right now. The only stance switcher. No. I would say that counts. Oh, it's the morning trash people picking up stuff. Mulan got a nerf. Her ultimate. Increase protections while firing from 40% to 30%. Man, Mercury got a nerf. Fastest god alive. His passive. Decrease bonus basic attack damage for every 1 centimeter traveled from 0.5% to now 0.4%. On the top end at max, 25% to 20%. Okay, 5% reduction overall. Sonic Boom is ult. Decrease maximum bonus speed from 40% to 30%. Fix an issue where the tooltip didn't state the spin duration or the bonus speed from casting the ultimate. Okay, good.
Here, Dispel Magic,
Let him
reducing the slow. It was scaling up to 30%. It will now be a flat 20%.
Yeah.
Damn, now you just focus on the 2 and the 1 now, and the ult. Because it doesn't really matter if you wanted to slow. It's just going to be 20% at all ranks. So just put 1 point in it and then focus on everything else. Because it doesn't scale anymore. So if you want it, if you focus the 3 to get the slow, now you focus something else.
Overall, her release, she's been in a pretty good spot. We're keeping a close eye on the aspect side of things because that one actually does have some potential to be potentially a little bit too strong right now. But given where she's currently sitting and waiting for more data to kind of roll in, we wanted to give her at least one adjustment.
Nah, man. Why you nerfing support again already? Man, ain't that some ish?
And when she was first released,
Play
people
it
thought she
hating
was
on
underwhelming. We
support.
actually fixed a bug where she wasn't even getting the slow at all. And so bringing it kind of to that middle point between those two seems like it's going to be a good place for her.
Next on the list is Hecate. And,
Wow.
this is an interesting
She wasn't
one.
even getting the slow. And she's getting nerfed. That's lame, man. That's lame.
The aspect of Ruin, the Spell Eater ability. This ability no longer fires when enemy gods use toggle stance switch abilities. Seems like a heavy nerf towards Hecate's being able to deal with the likes of Ul, I guess, but at the same time, this kind of feels
kind
like
of cheesy.
Well, from what I know from the other modes, I think there's been a lot of complaints with the other modes of ability spam, and if you've got stance switches and stuff like that, it was making a huge impact there.
Yeah, that and toggle abilities. We now that we're like we have a few more of these, especially with like Shibalanke with like his one, right? Like now that we have more of these, it's starting to come more and more often. This just feels like it should be an ability that actually feels like it was a used ability than just kind of a state change.
And Mulan next up as well. Mulan high on the chart so far. People saying she's pretty strong. We're going to see a nerf to her ultimate here just in terms of the protections while firing this, going down from 40% to 30%, so just a touch there.
Yeah, we gave her pretty significant buffs. She became kind of a lot stronger. With the training grounds, a lot more effective now, which is good. That's a place where we want that to be.
Yep.
But we're just reining back some of them because she did become like one of the more popular soul laners and kind of bruisers and was hard to deal with.
And next on this is Mercury as well with a nerf here. Fastest got a live passive, decrease the bonus attack.
Yeah, Mercury, yeah.
From
Nerf his ass.
0.05% to 0.04%, so it's max 25 to 20. And Sonic Boom, the ultimate, decreased maximum bonus speed from 40 to 30. And also fixed an issue with the tooltip that didn't state the spin duration or the bonus speed from casting the ultimate.
Yeah, we did some few things to fix his 3 and his ultimate. There's still some cases where the 3 doesn't register as fluidly as it did in Smite 1, but we've made it so that it doesn't cause a case where like you dash into someone and you start spinning randomly.
Yeah.
We've seen the reports of that drop off.
All right, you guys, you're about to watch 180 seconds of ads. Don't forget you can use your Prime sub to skip through them.
Thank you, Charlie.
Ultimate, we had kind of a bullet through paper problem where he could go past you and miss targets, and we've done a pass to make sure that that also isn't happening. So some of his release plagues got fixed or at least made significantly better, and we saw him rise as one of the stronger junglers as a result. And so this just takes some of the edge off of that bonus damage from his passive, and then the new aspect we gave him of his Sonic Boom, where he just got a whole bunch of movement speed, taking that down as well.
Let's have a look at Mercury. Next up, we have a couple more new Warb.
Oh, Clay Soldiers. Increased the Clay Soldier dash scaling from 5% to 7.5% intelligence. Increased strength of earth penetration from 4 to 12 is now 6 to 18. Shining Metal, her 3, increased base damage 90 to 250, is now 90 to 270. So on the top end, increased damage scaling from 65% to 75% intelligence. Okay. Osiris got nerfed. No. No. His aspect of the devil got hit. Fragmented passive. Decreased damage mitigation per stack from 2% now to 1%. The one decreased protection from this item scaling 35% to 25%. I only played it once, dog. No. Maybe that's my fault. Osiris aspect in freaking solo was freaking awesome, man. That one time I played it, as soon as I got my item, I was like, all right, I'm good. I'm good. I may have lost the first round. After this, nah, man.
Nope.
And I didn't lose.
All right, you guys.
That was awesome.
You're about to watch 180 seconds of ads. Don't forget you can use your Prime sub to skip through them.
Thank you, Mr. TTS. Sobe got a buff. Blessing of the Nile. Increased protections per stack from 2 to 3. Increased
Both
protections per stack per level from 0.4 to now 0.5. That was itchy.
Clay Soldiers. Increased Clay Soldiers dash scaling from 5% to 7.5% intelligence scaling. Increased strength of earth penetration was 4 to 12, now 6 to 18. Shining Metal, the third ability, increased the base damage of that from 90 to 250 to 90 to 270 and increased the scaling by 10%.
Yeah.
I guess that's obviously, we did some look at the ultimate and did some adjustments there, and we mentioned if things change, we'll make adjustments elsewhere in the kit.
Yeah, and I think there's a group of new WoW players who are like, the base kit doesn't feel impactful, but because the ult was so strong, like you couldn't necessarily just buff the character.
Yeah.
And so when we did do something to make the ult less like consistently effective, where you could just stack a whole bunch of item procs on it, it makes sense to go back and buff the base kit so that she has more individual power, especially in her like wombo combo that she's known for.
Yep.
Next on the list is Osiris. Aspect of the Fragment specifically here. I'm going to see a decrease in damage mitigation per stack from 2% to 1%, and the Sickle Strike decrease of protections from item scaling from 35% to 25%.
Yeah, people when they first played this definitely tried the pure inside of things
Yeah.
and went, I'm actually too vulnerable to be effective there. But people found that they could actually just kind of play a tank Osiris with this aspect and be really, really effective at bullying. It's cool that that flexibility is there. We just want to take that part of it down and leave it so that there's room for the more like pure inside of it. We might go back and actually look at this and buff up the inside of it if we need to, but this just takes that version of him, which is definitely the overperforming version of him, and make it so that like you really are meant to be a bit more squishy. You're meant to be a bit more vulnerable to this, and if you can just kind of bypass it and still do a ton of damage, you're too effective in that regard.
No!
Sobek 2 with a
All right, you guys.
No!
You're about to watch 180 seconds of ads. Don't forget
Hold on,
you can use your
10%.
Prime sub to skip through them.
Not even 5, man.
Nope.
Straight up, just 10.
per stack from 2 to 3. Increase the protections per stack per level from 0.4 to 0.5.
Yeah, especially as a tank that really needs to be in the middle of the fight constantly to be doing things. This just gives him that little extra bulk that's going to go a long way over the course of a whole game.
Still going. We've got quite a bit.
Silly. Ooh. General. She got a shift. Fix some tooltip spacing issues. Aspect of the Devourer. Sentinel. New increased damage scaling 0% to 5% of max mana. Removed no longer reduces its own cooldown. And then the ultimate Sentinel, I think that's a 3. Or the 1. I'm a monster. Decreased bonus damage scaling 22 to 30% is now 21 to 25% of max mana. Oh, let me see. It'll be normal now. 2 and 1. Are those starting sooner? Here. Smaller. Let's see what it looks like. Thor! You got a buff. On this 2, increased strength scaling 20 to 30. Aspect remains unchanged. This 3, increased spin to win strength scaling 35 to 40. Aspect remains. Suku Homie got a buff. Aspect of Bangetsu. Piercing Moonlight, the 4 got touched up. Alright. Oh, there we go. Oh, you can't see that age, man. Okay, starting. Aha. There we go.
That's why I was like, goodness, with the art show too today, it's going to be like, Scylla, going to see a bit of a shift here. Do you want to just go through that real quick?
Yeah, so this is entirely for the aspect. So.
Damn. They didn't remove the cripple on the 1. But she was so good. Oh, I think it was because of the I think that's the one. It should be the one.
The aspect. People have figured out that you can play a support version of this, and it's really, really, really good because at the end of the day, you do have like an AoE root, you have a slow field, you have the mobility on a pretty low cooldown that you can get, especially if you follow up with the correct auto attack, and then your ult just still does absolutely chunk. And if you, even though you don't have the movement speed, if you're tanky, it doesn't really matter because you're just gonna do a whole bunch of damage. So our goal here is to make it so that it's a bit more offensive oriented and it's less good at being the support side of things. So the first thing is tone down the scaling on the max mana for Iron Monster. So if you're building just pure tank items, and there's only a few tank items that give you mana that you really want to flex into the build, you're not going to get as much as if you kind of try and get that kind of more Book of Thoth route to get more mana in your build. So the support style should be a little bit weaker there. But the follow-up attack from Sentinel, we're going to make it do a bit more damage on its own, so you have more consistent damage even outside that ult window. But you're not going to reduce the cooldown of Sentinel when you hit that follow-up auto attack, because that was letting her essentially like just teleport auto attack, and she could absolutely harass a backline and get a whole bunch of cooldown resets and be a really disruptive support in that regard. So really cool play style. We don't want to kill it, but it was starting to become like the really dominant way to play Scylla in a way that was like, it was starting to become out of balance. It was getting more and more popular. More and more people are figuring out that this was working. And so we just want to make sure that it's more fair now that people know how you can actually build this in a very unique way. Because it is very unique scaling and a very unique aspect.
Just for our audio listeners, Sentinel then, in the aspect of a Devourer, increased the damage scaling from 0 to 5% max mana. However, removed no longer reduces its own cooldown, and I'm a Monster decreased the bonus scaling from 22 to 30%, when that'll be 21 to 25% of max mana. Next up, Thor, a buff.
Thor! Alright, be right back. I gotta stretch my legs and get the restroom. And we're back. Gosh dang it. Hang on. I got a sneeze coming. Never mind. Wait. It's just there. Nope. It didn't come out. Don't you hate it? Don't you just like it when you're about to sneeze and it just lingers in your nose? Gosh dang it, man. Break.
For Thor, Tectonic Rift increases strength scaling from 20% to 30%. Aspect remains unchanged, and Berserker Barrage increased spin strength from 35% to 40%. However, the aspect remains unchanged.
Yep. Jungle Thor needs some help. Aspect Thor does not need as much help.
Okay.
This is targeted at.
That's the help.
That's the help. We'll see if it helps.
And for this next one, I was literally thinking last night, like, I could not tell you the last time I saw an Aspect Tsukiyomi. Is it just been like really underplayed since it came out? Or is it...
we especially did a lot of like nerfs to it internally as well.
Yeah.
So we just think that's overall released underwhelming. And so we want to make sure that especially the ult payoff is still there. So that's what we're focusing on for Tsukiyomi.
Why don't you just make the break page earlier? Have it all together? Come on now, gentlemen. Increased explosion base damage. 50 to 150, excuse me, now 75 to 175. Increased explosion intelligence scaling 50 to 65%. Shibalanke got a nerf again on his 2. Decreased strength and intelligence scaling 30 to 25, 40 to 35. Decreased tick strength scaling 10% to now 7.5%, and decreased tick intelligence scaling 20 to 15. What are the damage?
Focusing on making the actual the explosion damage is the damage that when it actually goes to teleport to target and hits that person, he does a burst of AoE around them. Yeah, that's the damage here. So We're increasing the intelligence kind of 15% and also giving some more base damage. And this should just help that ultimate feel like a more ultimate impact fight because you're not rapidly going between a whole bunch of people anymore. And so we need to make sure that that individual hit still chunks.
So it's a bit of more of an explosion in the radius around it. So increased explosion base damage of the ultimate from Tsukiyomi 50 to 150 will now be 75 to 175. And the explosion intelligence scaling from 50% to 65%.
Yeah, and this can, if you get really good situations, this explosion, right? If you get like 3 targets and they're standing next to each other, that essentially is going to be an additional 45% scaling overall, right? Like because that it is an AOE.
And last but not least, on the God list so far, Xbalanque nerf to poison dart specifically. We're going to be reducing the strength scaling from 30 to 25%, decrease the intelligence scaling from 40 to 35%, decrease the tick strength from 10% to 7.5%, and decrease the tick intelligence scaling from 20% to 15%. Seems a lot of people were complaining about the 2, specifically the poison darts.
Yeah.
So that's what we've been looking to tone down.
It's
and does this affect both the base and the aspect?
Yes, this is both base and aspect, especially the aspect side of things where you can replicate it. That's kind of like a big... It's one of those things where it's really hard to miss, and so when it does too much damage, it feels very frustrating. We saw this with Kraken as well. You can just throw out the 3 and do a whole bunch of damage. It doesn't feel like it's that same level of fairness. So especially on the inside thing, it got hit a bit harder than the strength side of things.
Good.
But
that's where his damage was.
It has
always.
It's hard to actually show the math of this, but like because it has a whole bunch of like subsequent damage rules and the ticks refresh in a way, like it's hard to see how much damage this is. But this should make the poison darts just a less impactful part of his kits, and he has to focus more on actually landing the auto attacks that he's a carry for.
Good.
So that's all the guns we have down for now. Obviously, PTS is available this weekend for you guys to playtest all this.
Good, because that ability alone, you would lost half your health. You're like, what? It was only the 2, and it was that tick scaling that got you every time. Like maybe you could have tanked the first initial burst, and then that tick scaling was like, where did my health go? Huh? Finally, they got him.
Yes, I believe it's already in there, Pon. Yeah.
All these were in there. So if you were playing on PTS, you could.
You may have felt them already without realizing it. Yeah. And then items we're going to move on to next. Anything specific about items?
I'm currently like thinking 2 patches ahead right now. So
I can imagine. I'm not trying to put you on the spot. I feel bad, but we'll showcase some different. Boom! Here we go. Chandra's Grace, the first thing on this list here today.
No! Oh my gosh! Y'all mofos. Our intent is for the region to be as impactful, but lower the amount of total cooldown reduction granted. Mother bastards. Oh my goodness. Increased health and mana regen from 15 to 20. However, decreased buff duration from 4 seconds to 3 seconds. This is the best item out of the 3 that came out. This new one. Chandra's not so grace.
Nope.
Alright, we're gonna have to hear what they say, man. Dagger of Frenzy got a buff. Increase unused attack damage per level from 3 to 4. Ooh, that's the basic attack. Hell yeah. Dude, they're gonna end up nerfing Dagger of Frenzy. I'm telling you. They're gonna increase the activation time. That's how they're gonna nerf it. Because I think, what is it? It used to be like similar to Lernae Bow. You could use it like every 10 seconds. Just wait, boom, activate it. And you get a lot of attack speed too. So that they'll either decrease the attack speed you get or increase the timer between each use, like they did with Lernae Bow. Yeah, people are sleeping on Dagger of Frenzy, man. Daybreak Gavel got a buff. Increased cost from 2650 to 2500. Increased strength 55 to 60. And increased intelligence 75 to 80. Eye of Erebus got a buff. Interesting. Increased the health from 200 to 250 that you get. Increased watchful eye duration 30 seconds to 40 seconds. Nice. Okay. Then Leviathan's Hide got a buff. And now also reduces attack damage power as well as strength. Screeching Gargoyle got a buff. Increases cooldown Rate from 10 to 15. Okay, they want people to use it more.
Seems a lot of people have been putting it into their builds, Pom-Pom, but we're looking at trying to make it a little bit more, I guess, friendly for everybody involved.
Yeah, so
it is a nerf overall.
So the regen is basically staying the same.
Yeah.
But because the buff duration is going down, the way that it gave cooldown reduction is every 0.2 seconds, it removes 0.2 seconds. So if the buff duration is 1 second less, you get 1 less second of cooldown reduction. But the regen, the way we adjusted it, will end up being the same value. So that's the nerf we've targeted, lowering the cooldown effectiveness that it was there for, but keeping the regen strong.
Increase health and mana from 15 to 20 and decrease the buff duration from 4 seconds to 3 seconds.
Yep.
Next on the list, Daybreak Gavel. Not seen too much of this purchase. Just
Another
lately.
support nerf.
That's why we're looking at the change here. Decrease cost 2650 to 2500. Increase the strength from 55 to 60 and increase the intelligence from 75 to 80.
Yep, we think there's room for this to be really good in a lot of healer builds. It just needs a little bit more love in its cost and its overall like baseline stats to feel that power.
Dagger of Frenzy increased on use attack damage per level from 3 to 4. I know went for a couple of updates where we saw Dagger of Frenzy being very meta, defined, very picked up in a lot of builds, but I guess it's fallen off a little bit. We're trying to bring it back.
Yeah, it's fallen off a little bit. It still does have the because it's inactive, it's not always on, so you have to utilize it really effectively. And in the cases where we're seeing it, it's still not competing with some of the other builds that have popped up. So we just think that there's room for this to be stronger.
Eye of Erebus, one of the newer items we actually saw recently.
It's already pretty powerful myself.
Increased health from 200 to 250.
Yes, it really
and also
isn't.
increased the duration of this. I do think it felt fun to play with, but I guess it was just difficult to fit in builds and feel worthwhile.
It's also something like making sure like you're covering an area that if you're actually using it for like the more like I'm trying to guard an area, 30 seconds is a really narrow window. That 10 seconds extra is going to feel really impactful, and like when you're trying to watch an objective, and the extra baseline health when you pick this up is just going to feel good, so that you're not foregoing too much of your base stats for this effect.
Next, Leviathan's Hide buff. Now also reduces attack damage power as well as strength. Interesting.
So the big thing here is actually with the thing that's going to be most noted is all your characters start with an amount of attack damage. Like that's how their basic attacks do damage. So even if they haven't built any strength yet, when they attack you, they'll deal basically 10% less basic attack from their base stat damage. And then if you have effects that increase attack damage specifically, like your Daggers of Frenzy, that will also now reduce that as well. So previously there were like realistic scenarios where you buy this and like someone goes to start auto-attacking you and fighting you and you don't even really notice that anything has happened. And this is also something that like Smite 1 did a lot when they did power reductions. They did this type of power reduction as well. So it just makes sense with the item.
Screeching Gargoyle as well. For anyone that doesn't really know, that's the ability that silences. And also, we also gave it a new effect as part of the day-night cycle too, with having the AoE effect around it. So instead, it's going to have an increased cooldown rate from 10 to 15. So a bit of a buff there too.
Yeah, we just think it could be more usable baseline stats. The effect is already really good, but like you're foregoing quite a lot to go for it.
Next sheet. Goodness, every single one just
Shield Splitter. Increased range 8.8 to 11.2, and increased physical protections from 20 to 25. Okay. This is the anti-geb item, or just anti-shell. Stone of Binding got a shift. Stone of Binding felt awkward compared to its Smite 1 counterpart. Being so cheap but being combined with an item protection threshold to be effective made it feel awkward to build. We are increasing the cost to be able to provide more stats, making it feel better in a completed build. Additionally, we are removing the item protection threshold and instead focusing the gameplay towards gods that can consistently disrupt and crowd control their opponents. By making each stack more impactful, straightforward, and rewarding players who can apply multiple control effects over the length of a fight. Okay. So increased cost, 2250 is now 2550. You get increased physical and magical protections. Physical 25 to 35, and magical 20 to 25. Decreased stack count from 4 to 3. Increased protection reduction 5 to 7. Removed item protection threshold for 2 stacks. Increased stack duration 4 to 6 seconds. And then stacks now fade off one at a time instead of all of them simultaneously. Oh, Exy got a buff too. Decreased cost from 2650 to 2550. Okay. Maybe we'll be using this more often. Stone of Binding. It did feel awkward building it. I was like, I'm not really getting much out of it.
Well, it takes, there is a bit of a
So
community note in there as
I always
well.
built other
Shield
stuff.
Splitter, first of all, going to see a buff, increase the range from 8.8 to 11.2.
We'll see what
Is that
they
just
say.
to give it a little bit more like user friendly?
Yeah, just make it more user friendly. I think this is actually a suggestion where there's, I think it was Learning Bow goes 11.2 as well. So like this makes it kind of match
in line
that.
almost, yeah.
Yeah.
A
And
whole
increase the physical protections of
in
Shield Splitter as well
wavelength.
from 20 to 25.
Yeah, and I also made the VFX for it a little bit nicer. They're still temp design VFX, but
okay.
they're not great, but like they're better than they were.
That's a
Slight improvements.
And then Stone of Binding Shift. There's a big wall of text. I'll let you talk a little bit about this
Yeah.
point. So it looks like we're seeing a lot of shifts with this item overall.
Very quick TLDR.
Yeah.
No more item protection threshold. You don't have to build a whole bunch of protections to make this feel like it's usable.
Cool.
Okay.
That we think that's just going to be better for the item overall. Second, because it was so cheap, it didn't have much oomph in its stats behind it. So when you had it in your build, it felt more like a bridge item, but you kind of wanted it in your build late game. And so we're just going to make it more expensive so we can give it the more stats to be more appropriate. And then the final thing is we've decreased the stat count from 4 to 3, but increased the reduction that each stack gives and increased the duration. So if you're a character that can consistently disrupt, so like the Sobex of the world, who can consistently like over the course of a fight get enough cooldown so that they can kind of keep resetting these stacks, that's going to be the way that you actually get the stack threshold to be really, really high, rather than trying to meet this item protection threshold to then hit someone with a single CC and then have 2 stacks on the target. So this just makes it easier to understand, easier to utilize, more impactful for most cases, and better fit into late game builds.
So increased cost by 300. Go on.
No, I should say, but it is still hard CC only, not like the Smite 1 version, the trigger off of.
It is hard crowd control only.
Okay. So
Done.
increased cost by 300 gold,
Rude.
10 additional physical protections, 5
Plus.
additional magical protections, decrease the stat count from 4 to 3, increase the protection reduction from 5 to 7, removed, however, the item protection threshold for 2 stacks,
Bracken can
increased the
use
stack
it.
duration from 4 to 6 seconds, and stacks now fade off one at a time. So we'll see if that works out and see if we get a bit more plate from that. The executioner next up, decreased the cost of this by 100 gold.
Yeah, it'll work well on.
Is that the last one? I think it is.
Yeah,
I thought I had another page. I was so confused.
100 builds are obviously like they always go to like very min-max extremes, and we've just seen Executioner. It's still decently popular, but it's fallen off and been replaced by other penetration choices that people can get. So we just think that making sure that like it stays competing with like the rest of the options there is worthwhile.
Makes sense. So we just see a little bit more options for penetration to be built.
We also
especially-
talked about like giving this like 5% more attack speed. We might end up going back and doing another cost adjustment, doing the attack speed instead. But like it's essentially close. We think that it needs just a little bit more than it currently has right now.
And if we're still not happy, we'll go back and look at it again.
Yeah.
Awesome. That is all the balance I believe we have. Obviously, there's a lot of other things coming in with Sylvanas coming through too. So we'll be able to see a lot of that too. So that's a little look at that. Obviously, the PTS is already available for you all to check out. However, we will release the notes come Monday, I believe, or Tuesday, just before the the update goes live. And as always, there could always be small adjustments between now and when that goes live. Do we have any questions in chat? I know there was a few hundred probably at some point.
One more question.
Yeah, lots of questions popping up. I'll just pick one at random. What do you think about base health stats and time to kill?
So
apparently this was talked about in an Leon video, which I have not personally watched.
I watched it right before coming
Oh,
on.
okay,
So I do actually have, like, I'm still kind of putting thoughts together from it. I'm glad he went over the examples he did in his video of like, because the initial list was like time to kill is too high, so therefore things are living too long.
Okay.
And I was thinking like we get a lot of feedback from people saying like, yeah, late game people just explode and die, and they don't feel like they have like the time there. So he actually went more specific and was talking about like more early game fights in the mid lane, especially like mid game pressure. Like with 2 abilities, you could reasonably like really threaten to kill someone in the mid lane versus right now because base health is higher, that's harder to do. It's interesting. I don't know how I feel about that yet, but I do think there's probably room for more lethality in the early game. Seems reasonable, but like that's one of those things that like actually executing on what that means is, okay, let's say we take 150 health off everyone at the start of the game.
Yeah.
Do we make that up over time to make it so that it's similar in the late game? How does that affect snowballing? How does that affect the amount of power that starters give?
Yep.
There's some level of like, you can't just copy paste the stats from Smite 1, because if you do that, you're not really accounting for the fact that we have 7 item slots now where the starter isn't taking up one of those slots anymore. So it's the mapping of like that feedback directly onto what it would mean for Smite 2 doesn't quite work. But I do think that there's some reasonable feedback of like, especially that early game feedback. Like that's one that like, because the example was there and I could look at it and I could also try and evaluate it myself as well. Like I was able to, I'm still thinking through what it would look like. But it was interesting to be brought up in that way versus just because if it was just the bullet point high TTK, I would have been like, but that's not the feedback that we're getting. But because it was more targeted than that, we went through the example. That was really good. So especially if you have feedback like that, where like you can bring up those more targeted examples and specifically like discuss what phases of the game people are having these issues with. Like, hey, I had this situation, it felt really good in Smite 1, and this situation came in Smite 2, and it didn't feel the same way. Like that's where we can actually start to figure out like more specific adjustments that we could potentially make.
People getting out with 1 HP, man. Criminal.
Kind of the late game burst situation of like, you do die at the end. The game does have to progress, I guess, and people are getting pots, and the elixirs that come online.
Yeah.
So at the same time, like, is there anything that can be done there, or like, is that just how we feel? It makes sense because there needs to be something to spend your gold on that's going to help to, end the game at some point.
I would like to explore more avenues for people to be able to dump their gold late game into different things.
Right.
We've had a lot of ideas like internally, like for example, like what if you could spend like 1,000 gold to like replace your relic or something.
Okay.
Or like what if you could buy another slot of item. Now that opens a whole other can of worms of like UI concerns, but also like balance concerns of like how that game it's permanent scaling. There's one version where you can make it so that like you have the elixirs, but like they're way more powerful, but if you die, like they actually fall off, right?
Okay.
Like so there's variations on how you can give power late game, how much you should be able to like hold on to and maintain it versus how much should be potentially losable, and you could actually throw the game by like
buy an extra slot.
We still couldn't close out the game. Now the enemy is actually at a really strong position to win the game. Like there's a lot to discuss there. I think we have room to grow.
I like that one
what
the most.
Options are available for people to do later on in the game.
Or if you die while you have a 3K pot, it drops on the ground and anybody can pick it up.
Anyone can pick it up. Imagine having 5 stacks and dropping it and giving it to the enemy carry. Oh my god.
In my head, I'm working with a team fight where only a support survives at the end of something, and then they pick up all the pots off the ground, and then they're like super tanks.
Hell yeah.
That'd be the dream. I think I will.
But there's no defense pot though.
From the dev side of like, we're always looking
That's lame.
behind the scenes of ideas of stuff.
Bring back
talking about
defense pot.
there may never get realized or brought to fruition. However, we're not writing everything off, and we do consider those things consistently.
Yeah, and I just wanted like because it's one of those things where like I have immediate thoughts from watching that video,
but until you
I wanna
digest and
spend
review,
some time, like I have a doc open right now before I was coming, so I was listening to the art stuff. I have a doc open that basically it's like, okay, let's just assume
A Google
for the
Doc.
sake of argument, that everything here is actually valid and it applies to all the player base, and it actually like would make Smite to a just better experience by default. Let's just make the assumption.
Sure.
What does it look like? What are some consequences of different balance decisions you have to make? Where might this fault break apart? Like I start from the side of like, let's take the feedback and just look at it as if it was completely true, and then try and do 1 or 2 things and like start to extrapolate it out. And so like I have to do all that work and like see how I feel about it before like actually deciding how we would take that feedback if we take that feedback.
I guess that video just dropped today.
Yeah.
This is classic. These videos seem to drop of like people going giving feedback, and that's fine. It's just that we expected to have answers for it or opinions on it, and let it digest first of all, and internal discussions. It's not we're scared of discussing them, as you can tell, but give the devs a little bit of time just to process that.
Thoughts on Lifebinder?
I feel like that's items like actually in a really good spot. Like,
yeah, like I think that like the chat consensus is items OP. I have seen some similar feedback from other people, but I just don't know if like our data is showing that, or if you think it's just like
I'm intrigued by what
perception.
people say
Good, but
about it.
Yeah, I feel like I feel like there's trade-offs that you make when you go it. You're not as tanky for having it. You're not as high damage as you could be for having it. You bring healing utility to your team, which is nice, but it requires actual follow-up. It does mean that those characters do get a little extra burst of damage, which can feel impactful at points. But like of like the active item versus like base stat versus like where it should fall, I feel like it's close. Like if it is strong, and we've seen this too. We've nerfed Lifebinder by very little, and it just drops off the planet. It's close, and there's a certain amount of like it's close enough that like I don't foresee us messing around with it too much. And yeah, there could be some like specific cases. So that's someone brought an example of like if like Lifebinder, maybe its strength is actually specifically the early game. I rush it and I use it in lane, and that's a much bigger swing at that particular moment.
Yeah,
that's something that we can more directly look at.
I'll be real, yeah. I think most of the times we see in these life binders, it is more in the early game, so that would
Early
kind of follow
game,
that train of thought. Yeah.
And there's probably a world where then maybe you could actually make it a little more. Like we do this a lot on items where like we give them like a base amount and then
Per level scaling.
right? Like because items like if you don't do that, they either end up being way too strong early game or completely useless.
But then you've also got the other weird issue of like if you make it like that, then it's not worth building early, which means it doesn't get built because other things come into play. You know?
Yeah, in some cases that's okay if it's like if it's meant to be like the Rada Tahuti types of the world where like it's really meant to be that 4th, 5th, 6th item slot. That's one thing. So we could look at that direction. That's I think more specific feedback, which is that's the kind of feedback that like when someone says like, hey, I think this is strong, I'm going to not necessarily know the specific case you're talking about, why you think it's strong in the specific case you think it is.
People asking why Grover is not on Sylvanas' mastery badge because it's not Grover's mastery badge.
Because he's not. Yeah. That's it. That's your answer.
Sylvanas is the god. Grover is his.
We should make it
Why is green not red?
We should make it a separate ascension pass, and it only gets progress on it when you play the aspect of Grover's Wrath.
Love it.
Even though it's still Sylvanas throwing the basic attacks. We actually did debate, like we did look to see if we could do something where Grover threw the basic attacks or did something instead. That was just going to be a metric ton of stuff to do.
Why is Suku on a Wheelix's mastery badge then? Probably because the art made it so we had to, would be my guess.
Yeah, it's one of those things where like if they're in the same frame.
Yeah, sometimes it's hard to make it fit.
Can we get Zeus buff? His damage isn't strong enough to warrant 0 mobility safety.
He's got 0 movement. He's got movement speed in this too,
Speeds
right?
up a little bit.
Yeah, he speeds up. I think he is a case of like he is a mage where you do feel the trade-off of not having like the instant escape or mobility, but he generally does pretty well in the stats. We see him have a variety of int and
a lot of damage.
One of the other things that we do have to consider is like he is just generically going to be better in some of the other modes where you have a whole bunch of like when there are certain gods that are good at team fighting, right? Like if you can just drop a giant AoE onto the middle of a team fight, you're generally going to be pretty good at team fighting. And he's one of those characters, and so when you go to modes where he has more opportunities to do that, it's different than like the laning and the more 1v1 situations and 1v2 situations you can find yourself in a conquest game. So you also have to be cognizant of that too. But Zeus seems to be doing okay. A world where we buff him enough where he's like potentially running the mid lane in like conquest or the carry lane in conquest is probably also going to be one of those ones that's like not necessarily fun for a whole bunch of people. So I think the payoff of like positioning well to get the reward of Zeus is worthwhile.
Nah, you bugging. Zeus is in a great spot.
I just lost it.
He's chilling right now.
Yeah, there's someone.
He doesn't need to be touched.
Ben was talking about like essentially it's like studying the anatomy.
Yeah.
There's one of the artists I remember, and this was like even back in like the old office. They had like a really crazy anatomical model, and like it had like a full like torso, and then you could take off the torso and see like all the muscular stuff.
Oh, it was like one of the medical ones. Yeah.
It was pretty intense, and I don't know who had it, but someone had it. It was one of the artists, and like it was. I want to say it was one of the modelers, and it was really cool. It was really sick.
Awesome.
Scylla support. What about it caused it to rise to the level of we should pay attention to it now? Because the build's been floating around for a while. You know,
it's honestly enough people knowing about it and it being popular enough to warrant that like this is something we should do, right? Like there are
more usage.
We get this all the time, right? If we hit something too quickly in a balance pass before people realize like it's strong, people just kind of look at us like we're idiots. And so I think there's value in just letting some things ride for a little bit, especially if they're not actually that popular.
Yeah.
This was something that like only a few people were really experimenting with and they were seeing success with. And I'm like, yeah, that's cool. That's like kind of what the aspect system is for, is to be able to find these fun interactions and like all the build variety we're trying to do, find these interactions. But as more and more people adopt the play style, you're also then asking more and more people to figure out how to counterplay it. And if the group of people playing it rises, but the people who are like, oh, here's the counterplay to it, and that group can't really find a good answer, then this is going to get more and more popular. And eventually you do have to actually do something there. But like, if you just hit it before like anyone's like playing any Scylla aspect and support, it's like, wait, where is this problem even happening?
I guess also with the counterplay aspect you were talking about there, like you have people will work out counterpicks to certain things, and you'll see a rise in popularity of a god or a goddess that hasn't been played that much, because now they've got a bit more of a room in the meta to an extent too. So it does actually have knock-on effects by having some weaker than others. I'm not trying to say don't nerf, don't buff, but the whole, it's a MOBA. You know, there is infinite possibilities. It's like a chess match every game, but the pieces change.
Yeah,
constantly.
the biggest one I ever saw was Kali in Smite 1. It was either went up or down 5% win rate, and like she was already at like 52, so it was a pretty significant jump. And we didn't do anything that related to her. We didn't really do anything to like it obviously chainsaw character, so we did a whole bunch of things like chin side and Smite 1, right? Like
item
you would
changes.
expect something to change, but some combinations of the things we did that patch caused her to change 5% win rate, and it stayed. Like, because sometimes you just see fluctuations as like early data comes in.
Yeah.
But this was like patch over patch over patch. She just was now 5% permanently adjusted from where she was. And we still don't really know why. We thought maybe we'd fixed a bug with her or something, but no, there's no bug that we fixed that caused her to
Just a jump.
Just a jump because the how people were playing just fundamentally shifted, and she just moved that significantly off that adjustment. And
5%,
because
that's a
roles
lot.
are incredibly complicated, it's really hard to pick down like what exactly changed there. Yeah, you probably don't have to counterplay god, you think that, but like it's nerfing a counterpick god enough to cause a 5% win rate over the course of all the permutations is like significant. That's more of like a people were fundamentally playing conquest differently.
All I can think of is like maybe the starts or the rotations changed, maybe something like that. Who knows?
Who knows? Yeah, like and we generally would recognize that, but like the starts had stayed the same. Like I've looked back on this a few times and like I don't know.
Yeah. Well, we're at 2:02.
Unsolved
It's been a
mystery.
long show today in a weird way because we've had a lot to cover as well.
It's been action packed.
Yeah, but I guess it is time for
One more question.
They were so unenthusiastic about it. Like, yeah. And then let's get on with our day. It's Friday. We've already hit overtime. Let's get on out of here. One more question. Yay.
I did
It's
see
Halloween.
the release calendar, Kilgoon. Where are we looking in terms of like? Obviously, we've already leaked Darji. Good job there. And we also
She was on for PTS.
Yeah. It was an early leak of the show. It was just
The thing was, we should have done the upcoming god reveals on the Monday that I was still out sick.
Yep.
It was really like
is what it is.
the way that it should have been. So we'll probably do the next two gods the patch before, or the Monday before RTOS, or excuse me, before Daji's PTS.
Like Ninja. Ninja. I guess RDO is coming. This is why we watch these things, man. He was like, oh, I should not have said that.
Nope.
I should not have said that. They were like, Ninja, keep your motherfucking mouth shut. Oh, that was glorious.
Or the Monday before RTOS, or excuse me, before Daji's PTS.
Hindu man, he's all like, bruh, come on. We just literally spoke that you pre-spoiled Daji, even though she was already in PTS. You pre-spoiled it, and now you're spoiling RDO. My ninja. I'm disappointed in you. That's how Hindu man's right now. My take on Hindu man's reaction, like, bruh, come on, dog. Come on now, dog. You did not just do this again. And then he's like, ooh. Kilgoon is like, ooh, sorry guys. Hopefully they didn't catch it.
Nope.
Ooh. And then Pon.
Or the Monday before RTOS, or excuse me, before.
Like, no. He's like, Hindu man is all like, if I could deck you across this table right now, I would. He's like, bro, you did not just spoil another goddess coming into Smite 2. And then Pon is like, oh, no way, he just did it. He did it again. Oh my gosh.
Daji's PTS.
He's like, well, yep, he did it. He did it. I guess. You know now who's gonna come after Dodgy. At least one of the two next characters. Like I guess it's Artio. She's the next lady after Dodgy. We got one more, man. That was freaking funny, man.
Yes.
Okay.
Please ignore
He's like, yep.
any.
Oh my gosh. He's like, yep. I guess they know now. I guess they know now.
Conversational words I may have
We're
said.
also just going to point out what kind of costume you're wearing right now.
Ben was also wearing a certain kind of costume.
Yeah.
And you
so-
just said the word, and then second of all, we also showcased that one of them was in there too.
Yeah.
on
No, I
the
mean, people
page.
saw one of them leaked the other day.
There's
so-
one missing, right? So you kind of already, let's be real. You know Dodgy, you know RTO, right? You'll get the last one when you say when we do Dodgy.
Yeah, when we do Dodgy, we'll,
Okay,
we'll run
well, that's
through.
the last one for the
yeah,
year.
and we'll talk a little bit more about the one after Dodgy as well.
Oh, okay.
Well,
So
not the one after Newt.
the,
The one that we have leaked, but I'm going to pretend that we have not.
you just said a word then too, so good job. Okay, cool.
Who did?
But I'm going to pretend that we have not.
You just said a word then too, so good job.
The one after Dodgy as well.
Oh, okay.
Well,
So
not the one after Newt.
the,
The one that we have.
Niche? Who? Niche? Meech? Who? What the? What did he say? I need to turn on the CCs for this. Let me see.
After Dodgy as well.
oh, okay. So
Well, not the one after Newt. The one that we have.
Oh, it's Nut. Nut's coming. She's coming. It's Artio and Nut. Oh, sheesh. Or Newt. Newt. You spell it N-U-T, all right? Nut. That's how I say it. He spoiled it twice. Artio and Nut are coming.
Leaked Dodgy as well.
oh, okay. So
Well, not the one after Newt. The one that we have leaked, but I'm going to pretend.
He's like, no! You did not just spoil it again. Third time in a row. No, brother. He's like, you about to get pimp slapped across the freaking battlegrounds here. You just spoiled Artio, and now you just spoiled Nut. Oh my gosh. Nut is coming after Artio, I guess. Or after Dodgy.
not.
you
He's
just
like,
said-
yep. He did it. He did it back to back. 3 times now. He's like, oh, I'm so sorry, guys. Please don't beat me up.
word then too, so good job. Okay, cool. Ta-da!
It's Friday.
I think that's the end of the show at that point. I think you got a nice little reveal
What
at
is
the end.
that?
Everyone's been in a good mood. Ah, thank you so much.
Oh, this is a cool new thing that freaking MeTube added. You can pull out the comments while the screen is on full. Let's see. Comment. Oh, this is just comments. Nah, this ain't live chat, man. That sucks.
For tuning in though, as always.
No live chat
congratulations to our
replay?
Artist winners. Who'll be receiving some diamonds too, and we'll do some more of those in the future.
I guess not.
PTS is available all weekend for custom games consistently, and expect the notes to be out Monday or Tuesday
Oh
with
my
any continued
gosh.
updates that we make changes to after the PTS.
We ain't getting Nox though.
Nope.
No. I want Nox back in the game.
Any final thoughts, Kilgoon?
It's Halloween.
It is.
Happy Halloween.
There was a question. What do you do for Halloween? I want to say.
I'm giving out candy tonight. That's my,
You're giving out
that's my
candy?
job. Yeah,
That's fun.
My wife's at work, so I'm like, okay, I'm the candy guy. It's not a huge thing in the UK where
Yeah,
I'm from, so it's
that's
kind
cool.
of, you know,
Yeah.
Mhm.
now and again, just
Candy man.
I'm
see how it goes.
I'm going trick or treating with my kids, so it'll be fun.
Yeah.
Are you allowed to like really scare these kids or not? Just out of interest.
If they're older.
Okay.
Yeah, if they're like.
So it's just treat then, isn't it? It's not
It's
trick
most-
or treat.
Yeah, it's mostly
okay,
treat.
That's
But
boring.
if they're like middle school or older, you can trick them.
I'm not trying to terrify them, you know, just before
Mm-hmm.
everyone gets too upset. But still, you know.
Give them night terrors.
Pop on, any final thoughts before we get off today?
No, I think all the art was really, really cool. Just seeing just how talented everyone is and going over it all was just really cool to see.
He wants to say, I can't believe this ninja spoiled the next 2 characters that are coming after Dodgy and Sylvanas. So first is Sylvanas, then it's Dodgy. I can't think they're gonna do 2 females back to back. So it might be someone in between. We know the 2 female goddesses that are left are Artio and Nut. So who's gonna be in between them? So it's Dodgy and then I think Nut, then someone else, and then Artio. Or maybe it is both of them, Artio and then Night.
See, and yeah, play PTS, enjoy Sylvanas PTS, and then obviously he'll be out soon. And I'm super excited for everyone to be able to play him
Tomorrow.
And then I think for Halloween, all I'm doing is like sleeping if I can. I'm still in the new dad stage of like, if the baby is asleep, then I will try to get some sleep as well.
It's a good strategy.
It becomes a superpower.
So I'm ready for people to like doorbell and knock on the door for candy and be like, oh.
Well, thank you both for joining us, and thank you all for tuning in as well. If we don't see you beforehand, we'll see you next week or on the Battlegrounds. Have a good rest of your day. Goodbye.
Beach it. Yo, that was freaking hilarious. W show again. Thank you, Kilgoon, for spoiling it for us. Spoiling it big time, man. That was freaking hilarious, man. Game time now, boys. It is game time. Give that thumbs up. I got an excellent chuckle out of that. That was freaking hilarious, man. All right, we got the game loading up right now. Let me change the category. On yo sit on Twitch.io. Plus some games. Damn, that was freaking funny, man. He really revealed the next character. Let me change the kick stuff. The game's loading up right now, so look this up here. Plus some games. Yosemite Sam 2. Okay, and save. And go over here in MeTube. Plus some games. Dang, man. That was freaking hilarious, man. What a show. What a way to end off the freaking week, too. Kilgoon spoiling the next two freaking goddesses to join. Artio and Nut. He actually said it. Oh my gosh. This man is crazy. He's wilding out. Time to get the jam session going on. We're going to be listening to some A, some C, some D, and some C. Some A, C, and DC. Yeah. Can you guys hear? Let me see. Music. Nope, you cannot. You cannot. Should be able to now. Why do I only hear stuff from this one? Steam? Are you launching the game or what? Let me see. What's going on here, huh? Why is everything going so slow? My fans are working. Okay, open it up again. Dang, that's freaking funny, man. Okay, let's see. What other female gods or goddesses are there? We're still missing Persephone too. Wait, is Smite 2? Yeah, I want Smite 1. I can't filter out by sex, can't I? No, I can't. I guess I just do images. Let me see. Change. Bastet. That's 2. Who else? Artio. She's there. Terra. 4. Persephone 5, Hell 6, Hera 7, Freya 8, Discordia 9, Scotty 10, Nox 11, Serket 12, definitely secret. Nike 13. Yeah. We still got 13 goddesses to get through. If they even add them. Although they said 2 more. So does that mean they won't bring the other ones? The heck, man. Yo, Steam's bugging. Neither the application nor the game is starting. And I've been generous by letting it start up. Yeah, man. We missing. War. Yep, we're missing 13. 13 babes, man. I'm not sure if they'll even bring in Freya, though. Because Freya was freaking tough to balance. I don't know if they want to go through that again. I don't know. I don't know how they're going to be bringing in the characters. You see, maybe I'm missing some other ones. Armor Gird. We have on her. We have bad stats. Excuse me. We have Hu Yi. We gotta have change. We gotta have hell too. And we gotta have all of these goddesses in here. And gods too. Miss Arachne. I'm missing Arachne. Is she here? No, she ain't in here. No, Arachne. 14. Morgan Le Fay. 15. Cleaner. We don't have Cleaner. 16. Cardi B. 17. Baba Yaga. 18. We're still missing a lot, dog. Ain't no way. Tiamat. 20. You gotta have Tia. Tia up in here as well. Let me see. Anyone else I'm missing out on? That's just the females too. Not even the males. The males is probably double that. Yep. Boom, 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 boom. Arthurian. Empowered mortal. Mortal. Deified mortal. Supernatural creature or monster. Minor deity or demigod. Deity. Principal deity. Primordial entity. Creator deity. Neith. She's a creator one? Pantheon leaders. My man. 21, my man. We're missing out on my man too. Ishtar, 21. Yeah, man. There's Lizzo too, 23. I've never played her though. Dang, we still missing a lot. Yo, you can add Lizzo last though. I really don't care about her. What the heck, man? Why are you bugging out, Steam? This is just me right here. Waiting. I've launched this like 2 times already. Application like 4 times. You gonna make a liar out of me, game? Or application? And game, I mean. The game's not launching either. What the frick? Come on now, please. Don't do this to me. Boom, 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 boom. And we about to hit 2 hours already. Are you just not gonna work today then?
Nope.
What the hell, man? Things were working fine. Relaunch it again. Not even Steam wants to open up, dog. What the fuck?
Nope.
The game was taking so long to start up, so I decided to open up Steam, see what was going on. And even that's not working. Dang it, man. Is that it? I guess we're gonna end it. Man, ain't this some BS? Dude, this blows. My apologies, everyone. This freaking sucks. And I wanted to transition to some freaking games after we had that epic outro from Kilgoon, spoiling a double spoiler. Ardio and Nut are coming. They're joining the battleground of the gods, the Smite 2 roster. They're sitting in the Smite 1 locker room right now. Just like, yeah. We about to get this trade in and we're going into Smite 2, baby. Oh, yeah. I did cut myself earlier last week. Freaking broke a glass bowl. Slipped out of my hand as I was washing it. Hit the sink and shattered. Bam! I said, oh, damn. And it was a big bowl, you know? Enough to carry ramen,
All right,
cereal,
you guys, you're about to
rice
watch
and beans, soup.
180 seconds of ads. Don't forget you can use your Prime sub to skip through them.
Thank you. Thank you for that. Super useful bowl. And I broke it. Broke my heart. And so then I tried to piece it together. And I cut my thumb at first. This one. I was like, ah, shoot. Oh, it was my palm too. It's already almost healed. Just a nick. So I put it back together. I was like, ah, no, the bowl. Then the bowl came apart again. And it got me. Bam! I was like, ah,
Okay,
shoot.
what's up, everybody? Looks like we are live once
Yeah,
again.
we live. Shout out to Cowman. He hasn't even streamed the freaking summonings yet.
Nope.
Wonder when he's gonna stream. End of the month. Yo, Steam ain't working, brother. The game is not launching either. Try again. Take number 3. Smite 2 launch, please. If not, I guess we'll just call it, man. This is a lame ass way to end, man. This blows. I don't know why it's taking forever either. Let me see. Task manager. Is it even open? Let me check my task manager. No. It's not. Does it? Let me see. Maybe it opens up and then dies. Let me check. Task manager. Let me see.
All right,
Nothing?
you guys, you're about to watch 180 seconds of ads. Don't forget you can use your Prime sub to skip through them.
Nothing. Bam, 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 bam. I guess we'll listen to another song before we head out. Bam, bam. Oi, oi, oi. Money talks, yeah. Color TV screen. If you know what I mean. Women to the left of me. And women to the right. Ain't got no. Okay, how about Steam? TNT. TNT. I don't win that fight. TNT. Power load. Watch me explode. Nothing. What the hell is going on today? Are Steam servers down? What? I don't even see it pop up on my task manager at all.
Nope.
Well, this is lame. I guess I better not
Alright, you guys, you're about to watch 180
continue.
seconds of ads. Don't forget you can use your Prime sub to skip through them.
The Smite 1 work?
Nope.
Nah, man, nothing's working, man. Nothing Steam related is working. Let me see, is Steam down? Let me check. But I'll win the fight. TNT. Steam. Steam servers down. Let me see. Go to all. Let me see. Steam store is normal. What? Not down. I guess it's just me. Wow. Ain't that some BS, man? TNT, dynamite. Yeah, well, we got ads coming in soon. Load. See? 5 seconds, it'll refresh. It's all good. It's just me, I guess. What the hell, man? This is lame. My apologies, everybody. Game's not loading up at all.
Nope.
Neither is the freaking Steam app. I don't know. Maybe I have to restart my whole system. It's the only other thing I can think of. Let me see. Right click, run as administrator, perhaps. Yeah. Running as administrator. Yes. Okay. I hit run as administrator. We'll see. And why did this get moved? What the man? Should be way over here. Boom, 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 boom. Beep, 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 beep. Yo, we just jamming out right now, man. Not even running as administrator did anything.
Nope.
What? I don't know what else to do other than restart everything. Let me see. Right click. Let me see. Store. Library. The library. It's just not working. What the? Oh, come on, man. Wow, you really made a liar out of me today, huh? I can't play anything now. Oh, this sucks. That's so lame, dog. I just let these ads finish, I guess. Close up shop. There's nothing else we can do.
Nope.
Alright, 50 seconds, man. That's super unfortunate, man. Thunderstruck. None of these songs I've heard. Yo, we rocking out though. We'll have to listen to AC/DC again tomorrow. Damn, man. We were robbed, everybody. Chat, we were robbed. Can't do Nathan, man.
Nope.
Literally nothing is working. At least y'all have nifty shot of me, man, I guess. Nothing wants to pop up with Steam related. Well, welcome back, everybody. Those of you watching the ads. We're gonna close up shop. Nothing's working, man. Steam does not want to cooperate at all today.
Nope.
It was working earlier too. This is like the 10th time I've tried opening it. Running it as administrator didn't work.
Nope.
Normal clicking didn't work.
Nope.
Doing right click, open up this didn't work.
Nope.
Not even the games are launching either.
Nope.
So all in all, big fat buzzer. Well, at least we just watched the show. That's all we got. I wanted to play some games, you know, as in a hype for tomorrow. I guess we won't be able to though.
Nope.
Thank you all for tuning in. Those of you that did live game, replay game, watching this in the future, my apologies. This is the end. There's nothing for us to do here.
Nope.
Nothing's working. Steam, at least on my end, it's not pulling up. No games launching. No matter what I do, I mean, it's all Steam related. So what can I do? I've tried everything I know. The only thing is to restart, and I'll have to close up shop anyway. So I'll just end it here. Lurk Squad, thank you all as well. Shout out to you guys, chatters, supporters, everyone out there. Enjoy the rest of your day. Have a wonderful week. It's already November. November, everybody. Almost 2026. Boss up. Take care. Detach yourselves. Exercise. Eat healthy, nutritious meals. Get plenty of rest and sleep. Hydrate yourself. Drink plenty of water. Don't ignore your cardio. Honor your rest days. And until tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen, I'll catch y'all later. Peace out, pals. Take care.